Oh, we're going to begin the meeting with a pledge to the flag. I'm sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight we have a couple of public hearings. So could we have the first public hearings to consider a proposal to local law to amend section 345-116 of the village code. Reading proof of publication, please.
Notice is hereby given that pursuant to section 7-706 of the village law of the state of New York and pursuant to resolution of the village board of the village of Baldwinsville adopted June 6, 2024, a public hearing will be held by the village board of the village of Baldwinsville at their regularly scheduled meeting on the 20th day of June 2024 at 7:30 p.m. to consider a proposed local law to amend section 345-116 of the village code relating to Phobes Island Development District to provide that the original 22 apartment homes and 8 townhomes will be replaced by a single garden-style apartment building and 6 townhomes and extending the date for completion of the project. A copy of the proposed local law may be examined by any interested party by contacting the office of the village clerk by order of the village board of the village of Baldwinsville dated June 6, 2024, Baldwinsville, New York.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the proposal? Is there anyone?
Good evening,
Well, I guess you are.
James Trasher, CHA, representing the applicant, so the applicant does, is in favor of this as well. So I was here at the last meeting to talk about the extension in time and then the reconfiguration to 24 garden style apartments and 6 apartment townhomes in this area. We have we are working with the village on being on the July planning board meeting for the referral. Our architects are working on the elevations and the colored elevations and in preparation, so we plan on submitting that in early July. So we're here to elicit any comments tonight. We realize that.
Can you turn it around and show them?
Oh, yeah.
We've seen it.
So this is where the existing apartment buildings are. Lot 8. There's a house sitting on this lot right here. This is the area that's being mowed. It's beautiful out there. It's almost like a golf course. So that being said, that's what we're here for. So we realize that this is a public hearing tonight, and seeing we don't have stuff back from the planning board, probably will need to be extended to another time. But to just start the process, get any additional comments, and as I said, we look to be on the planning board meeting in July to discuss the project with them.
And we've already referred you, right?
Correct.
So we've been in touch with them.
Correct. It's just getting everything together, and as I said to Chuck earlier, we want to make sure the configuration, the look, the feel, the redesign of some of the sewers and the drainage and the water system that are out there in this area where we would have to do some reconfiguration. We just want to make sure that everyone's sort of rowing in the same direction, because I don't need to redesign sewer and water mains a couple times. If we can do it once, that would be great. So that's what we're here for. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody wish to speak against the proposal?
I'm sorry, can I speak in favor? I just wanted to see if there was extending the trail system.
Oh, yeah.
The beautiful trail system that's within the village, and I know the developer had planned on doing something with the trail system just to see if it's actually...
Yeah, so that's part of it, and that was part of the Lot 8. So the trail system continues along the river, and it comes up to a location at Tabor, and then the connection will be completed at Margaret. So currently it comes up like this, stops right here. So we're actually planning on coming in and getting this so people who are walking up right now and cutting across have the ability to walk right to the sidewalk and work their way around. And then this, we would just, when the rough grading for this is going on, we would get the sidewalk in paved and allow people to...
James, could you tell Dan from what we've agreed to in front of the existing houses so that we actually link to the property at the end of Lock Street?
Correct. So then we have a sidewalk that continues on all the way down here. Lot 8.
That's where I was missing. So these are there's a one residential
Lot 8
area.
right here.
So you're gonna come along the river.
And then there'll be a sidewalk right here.
Okay, I got you.
along
The
the road.
floodway changed and we lost the ability to put the trail down there.
Right.
Yep.
So we're going up, but truthfully, we had, the way Lock Street sits, that driveway isn't really ours.
Right.
This will accommodate us of being able to connect the trail to a future trail on Lock Street, and hopefully on the stuff I gave you,
Yeah, thank
all
you.
the way to Cold Springs.
No, that's great, thank you.
Motion to adjourn and close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 7:35, we'll move on to the second public hearing to consider a proposed, did we vote?
Yes.
Proposed local law to amend section 261-59 of the village code. And reading of the proof of publication, please.
Notice is hereby given that pursuant to section 7-706 of the Village Law of the State of New York and pursuant to resolution of the Village Board of the Village of Ballsville adopted June 6, 2024, a public hearing will be held by the Village Board of the Village of Ballsville at their regularly scheduled meeting on the 20th day of June 2024 at 7:35 p.m. to consider a proposed local law to amend section 261-59 of the Village Code to provide the cost of repairs to a sewer lateral shall be borne by the village and not the homeowner. A copy of the proposed local law may be examined by any interested party by contacting the office of the village clerk by order of the Village Board of the Village of Ballsville dated June 6, 2024, Ballsville, New York.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this proposal?
I'm in favor.
Want to state your name and address for the record, or your street?
Sally at Mechanic.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this proposal? Hearing no comments, can I have a motion to adjourn and close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to the regular meeting. Approval of village board meeting minutes from June 6th, 2024. Move it.
Second.
Any comments, additions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving to public comment.
Mary Ann Williams, Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce. Just want to give you a quick update on what's going on. We've had 2 ribbon cuttings in the last week, last Saturday for the 315 Hive Boutique, and just this afternoon for Paran Insurance Agency. We have an after hours coming up 1 week from today from 4 to 6 p.m. at Sammy Malone's. Our July coffee talk is on Wednesday the 10th at 10 a.m. That will be at Paths to Recovery Mental Health Counseling. And then our monthly luncheon is on July 17th. I have a error on there, Jody. Yeah, sorry. From 11:30 to 1. This one's hosted by the Baldwinsville Lions at their clubhouse and community park. And we ask that people register online no later than July 9th. You can either go to our Facebook page for the link or send an email to me at baldwinsvillechamber@gmail.com.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to make comments? Mr. Dale, a surprise.
I missed you guys. Yeah, it's been a while. Jim Dale, 70 Oswego Street. I am here representing the Baldwinsville Center for the Arts, of which lots of you have been participating, and I'm very, very grateful. I want to give you an update on what's been going on. So far we've had 4 out of the 24 events that we've scheduled for the island. The first was a successful Hamlet. Didn't see you there, Bruce, but yeah, I know. The company reported that they had between 150 and 175 attendees, which is pretty amazing for Shakespeare in the Park. The following day, we launched the food truck and music on the island. We had a few bumps, but we're working them out with the vendors that are there. I'll be stopping there a little later tonight to make sure that they're on track with the contract that we have there. I know there was a concern about some trash left on the island, but we've got volunteers that are going to take care of that, and the trucks are available. They're aware that they need to provide better access to trash for their customers. We went through the weekend. We had our first big two concerts. First, the Eldon Elementary Orchestra came out, which was really fun. They did a great job. Then Exit 11, the junior high orchestra, came out and did an even better job. They had a surprising number of people come out, lots of parents were enthusiastic, so that was really good. It set a nice tone for the community. The following night, we did our first drinking event. We had WT Brews out there. No incidents from the Onondaga County Sheriff's. None reported to you, right? No. Okay. Well, I'm going to qualify that before I said it. But they reported no incidents, and then that concert was a success. We've got lots more coming up. Of course, the first big one coming up next is Atlas on the Island with fireworks. I know you got a motion pending on something. Let that one go. We're really excited. We do have a very large volunteer group, and it's looking very well. I wanted to address the trustees today because one of the events that we have is the Red, White, and Blue Children's Parade on the 4th of July. Now, it's going to start in the morning at 11 o'clock at Baldwin Canal Square. See, I know that park. And the kids are going to line up. They have decorated bikes, trikes, wagons, nothing motorized, kids under 12. And they're going to travel in that parade, hopefully led by the Beeville Bee as their leader there, out to Mercer Park. So we were hoping that we could enlist the police department to come out and give a safety talk, if anybody's available. We had some questions about traffic crossing, the few places that the kids have to cross. Are there any concerns about that from the village? They're going to stay on the trail.
What day is this?
4th of July.
On the 4th itself?
Yeah.
What time?
11 a.m. I'm sorry, what?
Are they going?
Yeah, they're going to go under the bridge. Yeah, they're going to stay on the paths, but there's still some traffic out there.
So essentially, it's Charlotte Street and beyond.
River Street.
Yeah, River Street.
Oh, you're gonna go that way then?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to go on the public street. Yeah, we're going to try to stay on the path.
We have one officer on duty at that time, so I can't guarantee,
Okay.
depending upon call volume, that anyone will be there. We could certainly
Okay.
do our best to have.
Yeah, we've got.
that person.
We're hoping to enlist some parents to volunteer just to keep the kids corralled.
I'll certainly let her know what's happening, but
Okay.
and if she's available, have her over there to assist. But I can't guarantee in case she's on a call or something.
Yeah, no worries.
It's a little off the beaten path too. That's got a good route for.
Can you send me an email on that, please,
Yeah,
Jim?
absolutely.
Thank you.
That's it's a good route. That's off.
Yeah, it's off the beaten
It's off
path.
the beaten path.
Right.
I suggest if you could get a volunteer, you know, when you go under the canal
Yeah.
and you go up by the cottage, it's a tight turn. Some of these little guys aren't gonna negotiate it real well.
No, they're
You
not.
have an adult kind of hanging out there, help them get around the bend.
Yeah, we do have some organization volunteers, and we will try to police the movement along there. We are also going to have a tent at the start of the parade for kids that show up with undecorated, and we'll provide decorations so that they can get them outfitted. I did have a question about whether or not, since we're going to start in Baldwin Canal Square, if we need an additional insurance writer for that park. And then since we're going to end up in Mercer, if we need one for that park. I mean, it's going to be normal public traffic.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
You're not closing off either park to the public.
No, they're just going to march from one to the next.
Is there going to be anything with food trucks or anything?
No food trucks.
So it's any expenses come out of your pocket. So I wouldn't think that we would even.
Okay.
I'd just say no.
All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure that was.
Is our attorney happy with that answer?
Yeah, that's fine, because that's,
Okay.
as I say, they're not, they're not utilizing a park, either park by themselves.
Yeah. Good.
Jim, I have a question. Do you have an email address or a phone number? We're getting questions in, so we need to like direct them or find out. Do
Yeah.
you have anything that we could give out?
Well, yes. I mean, I am the primary contact for everything, so they can call Jim Dale at his number. That's fine with me. But I do have Jim Dale at baldwinsvillearts.org. and that would be it. And I know that those are concerns, so maybe this coming week I could stop down and maybe buy you guys some lunch and we can sit and talk about all the questions,
Okay.
if that works
Yeah,
for you.
it's just when, you know, just a
Oh, yeah.
couple come in and, you know, in
Yeah.
order to direct them. Okay.
Okay.
I have a question that's related to other stuff. Social media, it looked like everyone enjoyed the Shakespeare thing that was there, and then there was another band that was there that everybody loved as well, but there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, the first event of a season's always a pretty
Really,
tough
just
start.
to catch up with it,
Yeah.
so once people get the word out, but is there anything that you or the village can do to promote some of these events so people do know a little bit more?
Yes.
Because
Well,
apparently the people missed out on that band. That was great.
oh,
They're
you
enjoying.
mean Dirty Doves and
Yes.
Muddy Fairy? Yeah, we do have them all posted on our social media, and with that list, we're going to have listings on Eventbrite, which is actually, since it's a ticketed sale, everything that we have will ultimately go on there as and they're self-promoting, you know, because they're getting a percentage of our money, Mike. So
Jody has all the information from the little poster. It's no different.
you do, yeah. And any place you can share it.
I've been trying to, anything they post on their Facebook page, I've been sharing it onto the
Alright, so I'm sure there's more we could
page
do.
as well.
Because if you're
We actually have an advertisement coming out, Mike. The Messenger has those two monthly, I think they're called Exploration, in which they actually, it's a published calendar. It's a paid ad for us, but we're actually planning on putting stuff in.
And we also put those announcements on the sandwich board at the visitor center too.
Okay.
And I have every single event listed on our website calendar.
So if anyone watching, as well as the trustees, sees a Facebook post, they
Yes.
should share it. No, just like it.
Yes, they should. Please do. Yeah. The public comments, you know, just anecdotally, people are enjoying it. They, you know, they're things that they're discovering. They were surprised that Shakespeare was out there, even though it was fairly well promoted by Syracuse Shakespeare in the Park. And we'll just do better as we go along for this summer. It's,
Now that people know to look for things actually happening.
Right.
Everybody
Yes.
was convinced nothing was gonna happen on the island this year, so they didn't know to even look.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that as the summer wears on, they'll get the sense that, oh, something's coming up next weekend and the weekend after that. I mean, there are still, like I said, 20 more things that are happening there. We did put up the Paper Mill Island bulletin board signs that are out there on the island, on the village property, not on the not on the curb. And we are planning on changing them. Those are actually Velcro signs that we can pull off and on. Our printer designed them in a way that we can keep changing them out, so that's kind of nice. If there's any other village property that we could use to do that, we could put up some more. You know, it's hard on the entrances into the village, since there's not really, other than what are we calling that, the Triangle Park? The Triangle.
That's a touchy one.
Point park.
What do we call that park?
Point.
Oh, Point Park.
Bruce calls it the No Signs Park.
No Science Park. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we did a tasteful couple of signs. If you've seen them, if you haven't, take a look. There's nothing outrageous there, but
Not to toot Rotary's on, but the Rotary Club put up a nice sign on 370 that often people put library book sale. They put signs in conjunction with, even hang underneath it. If you're not using it, you might want to. You could also ask Kiwanis to put their sign up on 31,
yeah.
which isn't there.
Which isn't there. Yeah, I just think, as you know, as we look at the major roads coming in and out to the village, it's that consideration of where we should be hanging banners and where the village gets the most bang for its buck in terms of advertising what's going on inside. A lot of people, we had such a turnout. Now, unrelated to Paper Mill Island, but Art Walk had a great turnout. We made a lot of money. The vendors made a lot of money, but attendance was good, but it was random. You know, some people saw it online and came, but I can tell you, if you were driving down Genesee Street and you didn't turn, you might have missed it. And primarily that's because we don't have those You know, a lot of little villages have those big community boards at their entrances. You might want to consider something in the future for 31 at both ends and maybe on 48 at both ends. So that at least if you're passing through, you know something's going on. I have sent every guest from the B&B to the park, and they did attend concerts. Any other questions for me?
Not a question, but just a request or a comment. I noticed and someone else noticed that, and I think it came from, I don't know if it was, remember if it was one of your performers or something, that they referred to that they were going to be out on the Budweiser Amphitheater of Paper Mill.
Oh.
So if you could just request that they not use that
Yeah.
Budweiser reference anymore.
Ancestral memory, I
since-
think that's what that is.
We
Yeah.
sort of swore,
Yeah.
right? Somebody swore.
We're not promoting it that way. It says, but
I know you're not. I know
Yeah, it says
you're not.
Baldwinsville
Like I said,
Amphitheater
I'm
everywhere.
pretty sure it was one of the musical acts that, and unfortunately, there is a Facebook location that says Budweiser Amphitheater Paper Mill. There is,
Oh, there. I know.
but it's old,
Okay.
but because none of us control it, we can't get rid of it because
Oh.
somebody else. Back in the early days of Facebook, you could create any location you wanted and name it whatever you wanted.
Okay.
So
There's no way to
it's
remove
out
it.
there. Not that I've
Got
been
it.
able to find. So if you could just, suggest to
He's
your
got it.
performers.
He's got an in with
Gonna call.
with Zuckerberg, so he's going to take care of it.
All right.
Yeah, I will make an
Facebook.
announcement to the.
Yeah, just
to the
to remind them that it is no longer the Budweiser.
You don't remember what concert it was? The music acts from the
It might
few
have been-
trucks.
It might have been the gentleman that was at the food trucks last.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
that was a fun time. I was out for that. That was good.
Yeah, they also did really well. Yeah, those musicians aren't the Center for the Arts. They belong to the Food Truck Association, but I can mention it to Nick so that
The other question I was gonna ask is, are the food trucks gonna rotate each week? They're gonna be different?
they are. They actually have a little lottery to try to get in.
Oh,
That's cool. Are
So-
you limited to the number you can have?
No, he'd like to get. I think there were 7 the other night. I don't know how many are there tonight, but I'll know when I get down there. But yeah, they're kind of using a lottery system. They really want to get in there, along with the Onondaga County sheriffs. They're using a lottery system to see if they can do security because we're paying well.
Okay, Jim, since you shamed me for not being at Shakespeare.
Okay.
I need to tell the public that I was attending an Association of Mayors meeting. So,
Oh, okay. That's a legit thing. Well, you're going to go to Shakespeare though. That's coming up.
that doesn't appeal as much.
Anybody else?
And actually address the nasty part of this all. In our DPW meeting, one thing came up was the porta potties.
I contacted. Oh, I meant to address that. Yes, because
Use
Mickey-
whatever vendor you want to use, but realize some
Yes.
might be better than others.
I was on the phone with them twice today. They assured me that their schedule was Mondays, every Monday, that they were going to be out there to service the porta potties. Apparently, they didn't get their truck, but I am
Only
holding.
on the week where it was gonna be
Yeah.
the 90s.
Well, of course. And that might be the reason they didn't go, right? Well, the truth of the matter is, I still have their money, so I have a little leverage. So we'll do that. Did end up going with Able Tent.
You did?
I did.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And I can tell you that it was because Shamrock made themselves unavailable. They wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, they couldn't service us. And so it wasn't that I didn't try.
Little hiccups, we're off to a good start. I appreciate your hard work.
Well, good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and y'all know where to find me.
Glad you're up and about again.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Trustees' comments.
Where are you starting?
I'm gonna start with you.
All right,
Whoa.
I'll go first.
Instead of throwing people at the end.
So I would like to add a agenda item, which would be a motion for the village to host the fireworks on 4th of July and carry the insurance for the event with the Baldwinsville Center for the Arts reimbursing us for that cost.
The item G,
Okay,
some sort of motion about fireworks.
yes,
Motion. You can figure out when you get there.
all right. And then the only other thing that I wanted to mention was on behalf of the Baldwinsville Volunteer Center. Margarita Fest is coming up on Saturday, July 13th from noon to 5 p.m. We will have 17 locations again this year. Looking forward to that, and passports will be available during office hours at the volunteer center and during regular business hours of the Sweet Dream Candy Shop here at the corner. They will be available at the candy shop starting tomorrow. I would say, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of time, but tomorrow afternoon, they'll be available.
And you traditionally have sold out, haven't you?
We have traditionally sold out, so get your tickets early.
And traditionally, we have not had the tickets ready, but for 2 weeks before the event.
Right.
We were a little more proactive and got ourselves a good 3 weeks before the
Right.
event. So there's more time.
And this year, also new in terms of the ticket sales, you can pay cash, you can pay check, or you can pay by Venmo. Still no credit cards, so don't expect to pay by your credit card. But other than that, looking forward to another good event. July 13th,
July
Yes.
13th, noon to 5.
noon to 5. And I believe there is a concert on the island that night.
That's right.
Sponsored by the Baldwinsville Center for the Arts, so maybe you'll have a lot of fun people, fun,
Real fun people.
people
We need to
coming
get
to
my
your,
And I've been checking the
Concert.
weather, and I'm not gonna say how it looks to jinx myself, but we're hoping for a good day. And this is the 14th annual one. We've only been rained out once.
I did 90 days for.
We've never been rained out, we've been rained on.
But we still sold out.
Okay. good
That's
luck.
it for me. Thank you.
Just to challenge our camera person, now I'm gonna move to Ruth.
Really just the agenda, and I'll be at my regular post for that Margarita Fest if you want.
Excellent, thank you.
But other than that, just the agenda.
Okay, I'll back the mic.
You're really shaking it
Well,
out.
first I'll say, as a member of the Volunteer Center, not as a trustee, I wanted to thank you for the great chamber lunch at the canal side. We were able to represent the Volunteer Center and promote Margarita Fest, and it was great food, good time, and it's a great restaurant, and thanks to the chamber for that. I need to add an agenda item, which would be agenda item number H, or letter 7. A motion authorizing the Baldwinsville Police Department to purchase 3 Stryker Light Level 3 ballistic shields at a total cost not to exceed $17,000. The funds for this purchase are gonna come from the American Rescue Plan Act, better known as ARPA. And then I would also like to call for a brief executive session for a police contractual matter.
We don't know what number letter that'll be.
The number letter?
Well, it depends on what people are
I
doing.
could get some Roman numerals out for you.
Right now, it's high.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, Nate.
I probably will be attending the Margarita Fest and as just a citizen. And outside of that, just keep staying hydrated, and I'll stick to the agenda.
Okay, Eric.
I'll stay with the agenda tonight.
Then we're coming back to Donna now.
And I will do the same.
Donna, could
Yeah, I
you
got a
mention
little
once again
whiplash
your
going.
meeting with Rachel Mike when it is?
Yes, it is next week on the 26th at 2 p.m. at her office in the Hughes Building, and I'm expecting Chief Leffencheck to attend with me, and Eric is also
I will not. I'm
asked to
visiting a
attend. You will not be
cardiologist.
attending. Okay.
That's a priority right there.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
All right.
is it to me? I don't really have a lot of comments. He says, as he
Did we do Eric?
paused through his pick. Yeah, he said nothing.
Okay. And you're,
I've been messing around in my office with things that may or may not be of any value at all. I felt that the food truck, mobile food vending code needed some changes. So I dug into it and then I read it again today and I think, well, maybe it just needs some clarification as opposed to a whole new section. One thing it does need is we have never set a fee. So this board needs to set a fee as how much, if every food truck operating in the village of Baldwinsville needs to have registered with the village of Baldwinsville. To my knowledge, none have. So we need to set a fee. We're gonna develop an application. That's part of the thing that I would like to change. In our current code, it says the clerk has to check to see if the vendors are sex offenders, which seems like an odd thing to ask our clerk to be doing. But in any case, it's something we need to clarify and get together. So we'd be setting a fee. The proposal is we'd set an annual fee that would expire on the end of February. Obviously this year we're halfway through the year, so we would come up with a reduced fee. And there's some rules about operating, like you don't set up a taco stand in the parking lot outside of the Mexican restaurant.
San Miguel.
Yeah, that's not appropriate, that kind of stuff. Unless San Miguel's gives a written authorization, they don't mind. But so whatever, we're gonna have to work some of those details out. The other thing I was working on was, and I've got Jamie's response, trying to get a policy for how our planning board deals with companies, developers that come in. In this past situation, we've had a developer the planning board's been working with since January, I think. And for the first 4 sessions, they hadn't paid a single fee. So we're expending resources in the terms of members of the planning board, attorneys, and engineers looking at stuff, and with the potential that those costs aren't going to be covered at all. So just trying to get together a policy. It doesn't require a code change. I don't know, Bob, does a policy require what does a policy require?
It really doesn't require a resolution. I mean, this is something you can administratively put into being.
Okay.
And the question then, I think it's something that the planning board should be aware of, the codes and the village clerk, and then that could be that.
They all are, and I know that went to you and Jamie, and I don't know if there was any, other than they said you were already basically on the same playing field.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the initial fee in place before the attorneys and engineers sat down, tried to look at the scope of the project and come up with a total cost, because now we're already expending resources. So borrowing from some other communities would be a deposit would be made toward that escrow fee when somebody submitted an application for review.
Yes.
And that would start. And then the engineer and the attorney would come up with a fee that add to that. Okay, good. Other than that, I'm gonna stick to the agenda, I think. Did I forget anything, Jody? I don't know. Okay. So we'll move on to department heads. Go right to Bob.
Just a couple of things. NICOM came out, I didn't get a chance to read it, but NICOM came out with the end of legislative session, those things that passed. So I'll take a look at that and see what it is that might affect the village. The other thing, this question came up, and I just thought I would run it by the board regarding our planned development district local laws that we've adapted in the past, where you have a proposed PDD that comes before the board with mixed use, and you've got a map or a site plan that shows to be developed, commercial, to be developed this. The question is how to put that into the local law as you initially adopt the planned development district. And my thought was that we would, and I haven't, I was gonna go over this with Jamie, but I think putting into the local law, which one may be coming, I haven't drafted it, we haven't drafted it yet or resolved, but having a provision in there that says that where a map comes in or where a map site plan is presented with areas to be developed, that no development can take place until the site plan local law, I'm sorry, the PDD local law is amended, which means that they would have to come back before the village board to be referred to the planning board as far as what goes in there and what the actual uses are going to be.
You also had mentioned possibly requiring them to get a special use permit.
Yeah.
Which would then allow the board to say thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to list every exclusion that we don't want.
Yeah, so I just said, but I want to put the determination back in the village board as opposed to the planning board as to what it is that can go in there. So I'm going to work on that, but any thoughts that any of the trustees may have, but we'll work on that and get a draft together and put some thoughts together. I've taken a look at some of the local laws around that some of the towns that really do a lot of work with planned development districts. Town of Malta is one that actually almost invented it, and some of the things they've said. So we'll just wait and see, but I just thought I'd just throw that out there for some thoughts. But other than that, I'll stick with the agenda.
For those of you viewing or sitting out here, we held a special meeting last night. The village board, the planning board, the ARB board, even some of the zoning board, all together at one time to look at the Phobes Island project before they start investing.
Not the Phobes Island, the Bronze.
Oh, that's right, it was the Bronze Loft.
The old Jardines
They
factory.
can still change their name if they want. But to make sure that we're all at least tentatively in favor of it moving forward before they invest significant dollars to develop the infrastructure and do a lot of studies down there. I thought it was a very good and productive meeting.
Yeah.
Jody.
I will stick to the agenda, thank you.
You're not on the agenda yet.
We can introduce.
Introduce?
I don't even know who it is.
You don't know who this is?
No. I can guess.
This is Renee
McMonagle.
Yep,
McMonagle.
Okay.
Who on the agenda is going to appear later, where we are going to propose appointing her as the senior center coordinator if the board approves. Do you have anything you'd like to say about the senior center or not? Or?
Well, for what little bit I've had the chance to get to know everything, which I'm just starting. I know in the upcoming month in August, we'll be doing the car show. I'm working with Joan right now to get things under control and kind of figure out where everything's at, but that's the most current activity I know that we have going on other than our daily activities.
Renee, was there any use of the senior center as a cooling center?
I was open on Tuesday until 5 p.m. I did not have anyone show up. We stayed again tonight until at least 4:30 and no one was there. I know the new custodian was there until 7 this evening, so if someone had shown up, he would have been able to open the doors, but we really didn't have any.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
This one, I don't know if you got a line, but for some of us who didn't read the resume or were involved in the hiring process, can you tell us a little about yourself and your history, your qualifications for the position you're?
Yeah, I have a background in nursing. I've been a nurse for 20 plus years. I have much experience in the geriatric end of things through nursing. I was involved originally into the senior center as the outreach worker, and I know quite a bit within the community. I do also am part of the board for Meals on Wheels as their vice president, so I do have involvement in that as well. I do have a background with mostly the nursing end of things, but I have community connections throughout. I've lived here for the past 17 years. Both of my boys have gone through the high school. I have one that will be graduating next year and one that graduated 3 years ago. So.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along to our superintendent of public works, a short timer.
And that's okay. We're hoping in the next week or so to finish up one of the grants that we have, 2019 Main Street grant there by Kinney's. The highway department now is putting in the structures to put those lights on. They're down, they do really well finishing on the concrete work. They're finishing them up this week. We'll get the lights on that. We're able to do the sidewalk from Sal's to what's the name of that place next to Sal's to
The auto store.
the old Burger King, the auto store. Yeah, that came out really well. We should be using all that money up, and the county will be happy, and we'll be happy that's done. One of the biggest complaints that we're having now is, we're getting a lot of them. It's the tree trimming. And the tree trimming has nothing to do with us. We have no say. It's the power company's contractor, it's Nelson. And they go through, some of these trees look terrible when they go through, but they're cutting them to access the power lines. But we have no say. You know, they come in and they look pretty rough when they get done with them, but in a few years' time, hopefully they'll grow back in again, or grow back in some, so they don't look quite so bad. The water department's been catching up on, they're putting some new water services in. They've had a few leaks, a few water breaks, and the last couple of weeks they're catching up on some of that. And other than that, unless there's questions, that's it.
Then we'll move on to our chief, Mike.
Thank you. Our school resource officers are finishing up the school year. Obviously, we have one at Baker High School and Durkee Junior High School, and then Officer Knoll at Eldon School and Officer Sarnikowski at Van Buren School. And we have graduation this weekend. And then we're in planning mode for July 4th and the festivities there. Lieutenant Lockwood is planning a schedule and where everyone's going to be, and putting together our operational plan. Obviously, we've had to do this for a number of years, but every year there's a few tweaks and a little changes to make sure that we run things as smoothly as possible. And other than that, I will stick to the agenda items unless there's questions. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll move on to pending business. Could I have a motion approving a proposed local law to amend section 345-116 of the Village Code?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item B, could I have a motion approving a proposed local law to amend section 261-59 of the Village Code?
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I want to point out to the public, this is something that our DPW superintendent brought to our attention. Onondaga County Water and Sewer and many other local municipalities cover the cost in your sewer bills of the lateral to where it hooks to from the house out to the street. Historically in Baldwinsville, that's been your nickel, but closer to your $20,000 to $40,000. Very expensive. Fortunately, they don't break all that often, but his recommendation, build that into the sewer rate that people pay. So we have a healthy fund balance that we can work from. I think Chuck has said over the last few years, if there's been one or two a year, that's been it. But for some people, that could be crippling if you have a $20,000 to $40,000 bill sitting, looking at you. So we're doing that for the betterment of our community. Did we vote?
We did.
No, we just.
We got both discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oops, he's voting no.
No. Once again, I have no say. I didn't know if we were going to do a time frame and all of that, or.
I don't know how it got written out, because we're gonna make it retroactive to the beginning of this fiscal year. Did we do that? Or is?
It does. Okay, good, thank you. All right.
Everybody still in favor?
Yes.
Anybody opposed? Okay. New business. Could I have a motion to appoint the following as a custodial worker at Cantonwood Senior Center with an effective date of June 17th, 2024. Patrick Brown at $17.87 an hour.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? I've heard only positive things since Patrick started working.
Yes, very much so.
He was somebody referred to us by a Town of Van Buren trustee, council person, I guess they are.
Like Jody and I met with him, and he's had a lot of years with the school district. He's
30
retired
years
as a custodian there. Yep. I think he'd be a good fit over there.
And he lives, what, half a block away?
That's nice.
So he's handy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Just to add to that, we have somebody who's out on workers' comp, who we don't know at this point what the future is for that individual, but the position needed to be filled. So, just so you're aware of that, you may be crossing that bridge down the road somewhere.
Yep.
Motion accepting the retirement with regret of Chuck McCollum, Superintendent of Public Works, effective January 19th, 2025. Okay, 2024.
July 19th. You said January.
Did I say January?
I thought that was part of the joke.
No, I want 2025, I suppose. Okay, July 19th, 2024.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Although, oh, sorry.
You can have a closed vote.
Chuck, we really not wanting you to leave, but you already know that. We bought you every toy we could to get you to stay.
You've been wonderful the last 2 years with some of the.
And it didn't work.
Nope. Why, what else is out there?
One of the streets, he isn't going to forget how to plow snow, so if there's an opportunity for something.
Subbing.
If there's anything anybody needs, just let me know. You know, it's all good.
He'll probably still be out there on Sunday mornings with his blower cleaning up.
Only when Eric walks by.
Cleaning up the bridges anyway.
Yeah.
So Chuck, how many years?
It's 20 or 38.
Well, I guess maybe you've earned something.
Yeah. 38 with combined time. I worked for the police dispatch some and that added to my time. I think I worked 16 years or 17 years there on Saturday nights. And that goes on to your retirement time. But I'll tell you, all the time I've been here, it's been a great job. You meet a lot of fantastic people. You meet some friends too, but I mean, you meet a lot of the fantastic people. The retirement, and I tell the young kids, you know, that it's a great retirement. You know, when I first came here, none of the old timers would drive in the city. I couldn't figure it out. I don't like to go to the city unless I don't have any employees that won't go. If we have to go in, I mean, you're in town all the time. You know, and it's a good community to work in. You know, you truly get to, I think half the people just know me as Chuck from the water department. None of them know your name, but that's fine. But it's been a good community, and I've really enjoyed it, and I just can't say enough about it, you know. And I've worked with a lot of good boards. You know, the boards have taught me, with some of the things that happen in the different places, is the board has taught me how to sit back and not make decisions so quickly. You know, sometimes give them the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes so much where it drives me crazy, but you do learn from it. You know, and you have a different job than we have, and we do what you tell us. And this board and this administration, through the years, with the different things that we've had facing us, has always kept their head up, and they've always gone through it, and anybody that's willing to talk to them, they'll talk to them, and they've always took the high road, and a lot to be learned from that, you know. I was always on the road below, but the high road is always...
Well, that was for a reason.
Yeah, that's where my friends were. But, so, other than that, you know, just thanks for everything.
Could I comment, Mr. Mayor?
If you'd like.
I would. You know, Chuck alluded to his time with the police department. So Chuck and I began our full-time employment with the village a couple months apart back in 1987. Many of the people working in our organizations now, under both of us, they weren't even born then. And that's just the fact of the matter. But, you know, Chuck didn't allude to his many years serving the community in the Ballsville Fire Department. When he started, or when I started, I just knew Chuck from working dispatch with us on Saturday nights from 4 to 12. Because we used to have somebody answer the phone 24 hours a day at the police department, and Chuck did that for years. And we kind of came up through the ranks together in these two departments. And I know we get in trouble sometimes over here chatting, but that's just because we've known each other so long, and we bounce ideas and thoughts and things off of each other. And his institutional knowledge and care for this village is going to be missed. And he's certainly earned his retirement. There's no doubt about that fact. But we've talked about, you know, big shoes to fill in Ruth's spot. The man sitting next to me has done a remarkable job for this village over the years. And I don't say that lightly. So that's all I have to say.
I think when people ask me about Chuck, I always just say, he bleeds Baldwinsville.
So I will just say, because as people were talking, I was reminded that I'm not going to be here for the next board meeting, which will be Chuck's last meeting. So I just want to say thank you, Chuck, I've very much enjoyed the time that we've worked together. You've taught me a lot, and I think we've worked well together, and enjoy your retirement, but you will certainly be missed.
Thank you.
And I'm not gonna be here for the next meeting.
Apparently so. Are you going to be here on July 3rd
Yes,
at the DPW barn?
yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other comments other, you know, save them for the appropriate time or not? Otherwise, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I would vote no, but it's pointless.
Let the record reflect Chuck voted aye.
Okay, item C. Motion to approve Cheryl Atzett and Kelly Battles to attend the NYSAMCC Annual Conference from September 29th, 2024 to October 3rd, 2024 at a cost of $2,014 in gas mileage for each at $209.04.
Moved.
Second.
Jody, you knew what NY, I knew New York State,
Some court thing.
some court clerk.
Something court clerks. Municipal, maybe M is municipal.
Oh, municipal court clerk.
Yep, we just don't know what the A is.
Association.
Association.
Okay.
See, how many heads does it take to put together what an acronym stands for?
So could I have a motion?
Good job.
I think you did.
Who did it?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
any discussion other than all of that?
Movers.
It was good.
Are they driving separately?
They are driving separately. Cheryl has to go up a day before.
Oh, I was gonna say, I would want somebody to just ride with all the way to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Good job.
Carried. Item D, could I have a motion to appoint Renee McMonigal as Senior Center Coordinator effective June 24th, 2024 at a salary of $51,000 a year. This appointment is contingent upon her passing the civil service exam for this position if and when it's given.
Moved.
Second.
Any questions, discussion?
Do we not know if and when it's going to be
We do not.
scheduled?
Okay.
Okay.
There's nothing on the thing right now.
I mean,
Okay.
Onondaga County could call for it tomorrow
Yeah.
or 10 years from now.
All right.
So in that interim, Renee will be, in civil service world, she will be provisional.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And as, we will have a name tag for you next.
Yep.
You're official now.
Nameplate.
Have item E, a motion to set a public hearing for Thursday, July 18th, 2024 at 7:30 PM to amend Village Code Section 242, potentially adding an Article 3.
I'd like to, Mr. Mayor, there already is an Article 3, which actually is the final thing, talking about the effective date. What I would prefer.
I would take that out and just say amending.
Yes, to specify regulations for food trucks.
Okay.
And then what I will do is to take the existing law that Greg put together and the law that you put together.
See where we can marry them.
And have them so that I think the way that, even though possibly there is some regulation, the way that Greg put it together, the thing is that I think it works much better when you have fixed sales and a special paragraph for food trucks, because you talk about the licensing and the form which would have to be devised and so forth. So
does the application form need to be part of that?
no, it just,
Okay.
because the language already says upon a form submitted
Should
to
we
the.
wait to set a rate until we get that?
Yeah, because then you can do that once it's adopted. So we do it that way, then I'll prepare the notice and send it to Jody. And
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Now we need a motion.
Need a motion and a second.
I'll move it.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, could a motion to approve a budget modification as proposed in the document Budget Modifications 2024-2025 budget?
No PDF.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on here?
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Second.
third it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, G.
Opposed? Carried. Item G is Mike.
That was me.
Oh, you're FW, okay.
Yeah, so,
Well, see if Mike can do it.
yeah, you wanna do it, Mike?
No, I'm good.
So I would like to make a motion that the village host the fireworks on July 4th and obtain the necessary insurance certificate or rider or whatever it's called. And the cost of that will be reimbursed by the Beldinsville Center of the Arts. Is that
Can I ask who the
adequate?
vendor is?
Do you know who your
Pirates
vendor
Inc.
is?
Okay, they're gonna send a license.
Yes.
Could you, I add authorizing the mayor to sign said license?
And I would like to have the motion include authorization for the mayor to sign the license for said fireworks on July 4th
Okay.
with the mentioned.
I don't think the mayor signs the fireworks. Are you talking a fireworks permit?
It's something that Pyrotechnico requires.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I sign it just for them.
Very good, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, they want to know who the insurance, who's providing the insurance. You've gotten most of that.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's going to Tim now, but we
Yeah.
have to sign that.
For the codes or you
Yes.
approve that stuff, yeah.
All right, was that adequate enough motion?
Yeah, there's enough.
Covered all the bases?
There's everybody.
Well done.
Okay,
I'll second.
Who did the motion?
I did since
I'll second.
since I created it.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Bring it on.
Yep.
They do a good
I'll
job.
give you a copy of it. How's that?
Okay, that's good.
Now it's Mike.
Do you have an agreement? I'm just gonna ask you with the cemetery. Have you-
Yes, it's actually getting picked up tomorrow. What is the name of the cemetery? What is the?
Riverview.
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 Riverview Cemetery.
Yeah. Because in some cases, our clerk has required, seeing that you have that, permission to blow off explosives in the cemetery.
Want to wake anybody up?
Okay. Don't rock me to sleep tonight.
Okay, now item H. That would be,
All right, item H. A motion authorizing the Baldwinsville Police Department to purchase 3 Stryker Light Level 3 ballistic shields at a total cost not to exceed $17,000. American Rescue Plan Act funds will be utilized for this purchase.
I'll second that.
any discussion?
We're gonna have to have further discussion on some of the other stuff, but we'll do that
I
later.
would say we'll be using ARPA funds as needed to do that. Without Mark sitting out here.
Yep.
He juggles the numbers and who knows if we, but we'll make the purchase.
Right.
Thank you.
As needed. Got it.
I'll second. Or
He
you
seconded.
already
Eric
seconded.
seconded.
Okay, good.
Any discussion?
No?
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Is there anything else before we go into executive session?
I thought of one thing, I wanted to invite Jim, do you want to tell people about your camps that you have available? If you want to stand up to the mic and tell the public about.
Sure. Yes, this summer as part of the Paper Mill Island program, we are offering 2 camps throughout the months of July and August. The first is Jazz Camp, being run by Joe Raposo and Bob Cesari, accomplished jazz musicians. It's open to any high schoolers, anybody interested in jazz, even adults. They're going to conduct that camp every Monday morning at 10 a.m. on the island. They're going to set up an orchestra in the amphitheater and play. And at the conclusion of the summer, they'll have a performance. Date hasn't been set yet. The second camp is theater camp. The Center for the Arts hired 2 drama students from Syracuse University who had been in previous performances for us, and they're coming and they're going to start Tuesday, July, I don't know that date. But again, they're going to run both all 8 weeks in July and August.
July 2nd.
Thank you, July 2nd. And that camp is divided into 2 sessions. It's going to be running every Tuesday and Thursday. The first session is for young kids 6 to 11. Maybe it was 7 to 11.
You still told me 7 to.
7 to 11. Yeah, 7 to 11, and I was confusing the hours and the ages. So the camp is from 10 a.m. until noon, and the kids in the morning are 7-year-olds to 11-year-olds. Then after lunch at 1 o'clock until 4, older teens, tweens, 12 to 15, will be participating in that camp. And again, that'll end at the end of the summer, and there'll be a collaborative performance between the younger group and the older group. And then there'll also be some showcase performances if any of those kids show any talent at all.
Is there any cost for the camp?
There is a cost to participate in the camp. We're trying to keep it minimal. We're looking at setting up a family fee. So, if you have 1 or 25, they can just come and participate. But the fee is to encourage them to be there at the end of the summer to perform. Without it, maybe no show. Thank you for reminding us. And anything you can do to support that, get that on your social media, send that out. We will be sending out announcements about those camps and putting up some signs regarding that. Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Could I have a motion to adjourn into executive session?
Moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Thanks, guys.
Do we expect any action?
No action.
Yeah.
I need a motion that the Village of Baldwinsville intends to participate in the Tompkins County Health Insurance Coalition for our PBA and our DPW employees.
And our non-representative.
And the non-represented
I'll make the
employees.
motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? Discussion?
No.
All in favor?
This is our intention.
It's an
We're not
intention.
Binding.
We will file this letter so that they can know that we are intending to do this.
Who made the motion?
I made the motion.
Nate seconded it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Can you now adjust the, all those times?
Yep, but I only have to adjust the one time by 2 minutes.
We need to make a motion to close this meeting still?
We already did.
We did.
We need to make a motion to close this meeting.
Yeah, we're adjourning the meeting.